So here we have the newest release by Kayali, and this fragrance has been getting a lot of hype ever since it came out. This is the brand new Gourmand Yum Pistachio Gelato 33. I just acquired my bottle recently. I purchased this one straight from Sephora. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this brand new release, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on the brand new Yum Pistachio Gelato 33 by Kayali, I'll give you my thoughts on the fragrance, the notes, the performance, comparisons to other fragrances, so on and so forth, as well as the evolution on my skin. But I do want to start things off by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, or if you took something of value from today's episode. It would really mean a lot to me. So, of course, this is a fragrance that was super hyped. I mean, I tried to purchase this fragrance a couple months ago, I want to say, ever since I first started learning about it, and then it was out of stock, and then I had to join the mailing list and wait until I got that notification saying that it was in stock again. And by chance, I was on Sephora's website not too long ago, and I saw that it was available. I ended up purchasing it, and I'm glad I did. It's a gourmand. I love gourmand fragrances, one of my favorite genres. And the perfumers are Olivier Cresp and Sebastian Cresp. So Olivier Cresp has done, of course, Noah by Cacharel. He's done Angel by Thierry Mugler. He's done a lot of really wonderful gourmand fragrances. He actually is kind of like the founding father of the gourmand genre. Thierry Mugler's Angel, which was an early 90s release, is said to be the first gourmand fragrance out there. I had a chance to meet this perfumer in person on my own terms. I want to mention that. I did an interview with him here on the channel. He's really humble, down to earth, really amazing guy. So here we have a fragrance that has a pretty simple note breakdown as far as what is conveyed on the box, but there's a lot of other notes online. So it says pistachio gelato, hazelnut, sweet rum, whipped cream, marshmallow, cotton candy. You look it up online, it has like lily of the valley and jasmine and geranium and hazelnut and all of these other notes. So it gives you a more comprehensive picture, I would say, but there are certain ingredients that really pop up off my skin. So I'm going to tell you what I get in terms of the smell. Let's go ahead and start things off with a quick look at the presentation. Right in the opening of this fragrance, you are going to get an aroma that is sweet, smooth, creamy, and nutty. That is the best way to describe this one. And of course, you think about pistachio, you think about hazelnut, you think about maybe even a touch of almond, all of these wonderfully nutty ingredients. Of course, you are to expect that. Now, of course, pistachio on its own is not the most gourmand smell, right? It smells rather powdery and dusty, even spicy, depending on how it's roasted and seasoned and whatever else. I don't know what your individual experience is with that particular note, especially as it comes to you consuming it. But here we have a fragrance that combines the pistachio with vanilla and tonka bean and cotton candy and all of these dulcet ingredients, and I really think that that's where the magic happens. Now, of course, there are certain aroma molecules that give off certain effects. So vanillin or ethyl vanillin gives off the smell of vanilla. You have ethyl maltol, which gives off the smell of cotton candy. You have coumarin, which gives off the smell of tonka beans. So there's a little bit of everything working its magic in this composition. And I think what's really delightful about this fragrance is the fact that you have all of these wonderfully gourmand ingredients joining forces. But the one thing that really worried me and gave me a bit of trepidation was the fact that I noticed, things like cotton candy and marshmallow and whipped cream, and I thought to myself, uh-oh, this is gonna be like a really girly fragrance, or this is going to be very juvenile, very youthful smelling, something perhaps that is fit for a teenager's use. But it's actually not that. It's not that at all. And I was really surprised, even looking at the introduction of like bergamot and pear. And like I said, you go online, there's so many other ingredients. I thought to myself, wow, it's actually very bright and luminous in the opening. The bergamot is very nicely put, stronger than the pear. The pear is not too strong in this one. There's also peony and lily of the valley. I think a little bit of jasmine as well, if I'm remembering correctly. Geranium kind of adds a bit of smoothness to this fragrance. So in layman's terms, you're going to get a gently floral, mostly sweet, still very posh and sophisticated smelling, not juvenile at all, with a very nutty, smooth, creamy, slightly woodsy, sort of a sandalwood personality. It's a really addictive scent. I think this fragrance has a lot of really wonderful things going for it, and I was pleasantly surprised. Again, I didn't know what direction it would lean in. I do want to say it's like 60% feminine, 40% masculine, but if you can look past that and you can think about, you know, the vanilla and the sweeter ingredients that are sort of residing in the base, if you are a gourmand lover, as I am, you are going to fall head over heels in love for this fragrance. I think Yum Pistachio Gelato 33 is a wonderful fragrance, and it's certainly one that I think you should get your nose on if you have the opportunity to try it. Like I said, I purchased my bottle from Sephora. If you have a chance to do so, I would highly recommend it. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, this is certainly a unique fragrance. I'm trying to compare it to other fragrances that I've tried, and of course I've tried other cotton candy based fragrances, and you know, somebody said it smells a little bit like Fantasy by Britney Spears, and I get the comparison. I can see why they would say that. However, I think this has a richer personality. It's not as much of a fruity gourmand as Fantasy. I think this one does its own thing, and it's really special in its own way. Longevity on this one was about 7 hours on my skin. Projection was great for the first 45 minutes of application. It radiated within an arm's length. It became an elbow's length scent right around hour 5, a skin scent right around hour 7. In terms of the versatility, it's a little feminine leaning, but I personally think it's completely unisex. I think this one can be worn both casually and formally. I think this is great for all seasons and all occasions. It has a lot of those dense gourmand ingredients that I would love to wear in the colder weather, but it also has a lot of bright tones that could work really well in the summer too. I think anybody of any age would appreciate this one, but I do see a lot of perhaps younger people gravitating towards this one because of its sweetness. But again, if you're a fan of gourmands, as am I think you're really going to enjoy this one. And in terms of the presentation, the color is really wonderful. The presentation is cool. I just love the hype that this one has created for itself. So my final verdict on this fragrance is it's a beautiful gourmand. It's different. It does things differently. You're not going to expect the smell. When you do try it on, however, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. It's one that I'm personally enjoying. I made it my scent of the day today. It smells quite wonderful, and the performance is still going, and I want to say I put it on like 4.5 hours ago. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me today. That was my review of Kayali's Yum Pistachio Gelato 33. Of course, if you've tried this fragrance or any fragrance from this brand, let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Always love the interaction. Also, if you enjoyed this review, if you took anything of value from today's video, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon and give this video a thumbs up. Love you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.